Good day, good evening. Terry Lee Harrison here from Team Referral Network Virtual Chapters, and I'm delighted to come live with you and introduce you to an amazing guest. Cheryl Brewster, welcome to my live.
Thanks, Terry Lee. It's always so much fun to hang with you.
It is always my delight to have time with Cheryl. Cheryl is just a joy in my life, and I'm so grateful for you, Cheryl. So let me introduce my audience here to you, and I'm sure your friends are always delighted to see that you're live. So Cheryl Brewster is a business intuitive, an intention coach, a joy strategist, a speaker. She believes that life is about creating your own epic adventure, and that's so true. And she comes to us from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. So welcome, Cheryl.
Thanks, Terry Lee. It's great to be here with you.
Yes, so lovely to have you here as well. We are embarking on our own epic adventure with some of our best business friends in virtual team, and that epic adventure is going to be our Rise Up Virtual Summit that's going to be happening this weekend, and we're getting some welcomes and comments. Brian and Venky's here also, so great to have you all with us on the live. Cheryl is an amazing person, an amazing business person, and when she talks about being a business intuitive and dealing with intention and joy, I think that's one of the things that brings me the most joy about knowing her and how she serves people. So Cheryl, I'd love to invite the people that I know to get to know you better. So what is one thing you love to teach business owners? And aside from the summit, just what is one thing that comes up for you that you'd like to share? We'd love to hear your top tips.
Sure. Well, for me, whether it's business or life, it always comes down to one main principle tool, which is that everything happens for me, not to me. And that invites a whole mindset of dealing with challenge and obstacles in a really empowered way. And in my experience, it takes us beyond the norm. It takes us out of mediocrity, and it puts us into the flow, so that we're really operating from that really creative and innovative part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, the executive decision making. And certainly for business owners these days, especially with COVID, so much has been happening, and there's so much fear in the world, and there's economic anxiety. And so to be able to have this as a tool to stay very centered, very grounded, so that we're making decisions from a very expanded place in consciousness, because fear will take us out, and inspiration, imagination, the ability to think beyond circumstances will literally, in my experience and many others, save our bacon. So I'm excited to be the opening speaker for the talk, because I think for the summit, because I think this is really valuable, important, practical, and grounded information.
So is that also okay? So I have a question. So I asked for your top thing you'd love to teach, and so is that that is also the talk for the summit? Yes. Or is there something else you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes. And this is why it's so interesting, because for our audience, when Cheryl first joined Virtual Team, we were doing a different summit, and she says, hey, I'd be interested in speaking at the summit. And I said, oh my gosh, we are full this time, but I want to talk to you about next time. And our theme at our summit about rising up right now in your life and business, to have her come and share exactly what she just told you, it is so huge. It is so huge, because we can choose in, right? We can choose into how are we showing up every day? Are you paralyzed, or are you moving forward? To come from, she said, to come from that place, not of fear, but to be inspired and to be moving forward. It's very huge. And Cheryl and I were chatting just a minute ago about something with my husband. My husband had said to me, Cheryl, I don't know if you know about this conversation, but he had said to me maybe 6 weeks ago, he said, wow, he goes, it must be really tough getting on all those calls with people all day long when they're struggling. And Cheryl, I was like, Oh, no. I go, the people I talk to are fabulous. I go, everyone's moving forward. Like they're not struggling. And I'm not saying that we're not struggling at all in our life, but like our mindset of where these business people go that I encounter every single day from all over the world is it's stunning how I'm not saying there's no struggle at all. I'm not saying that, but they're not like drugged down by it. So have you found that to be the case too, Cheryl?
Absolutely. And, I'm very fortunate that I work with some very, I want to say, innovative thought leaders, because so many of us recognize that there's huge, huge implications, unprecedented. But because we are working with this mindset, it becomes part of creating something amazing out of something very difficult. And when that becomes your go-to over time, it becomes consistent. And that's where I believe that we have an absolute opportunity here in coming together on the summit to really be inspired, to be educated. And I'm so passionate of, working with people who have a calling, working with people who really are making a difference in the world with their businesses, because that's what the world needs. And when we have demonstrated that in our own lives, we've done the big work. And I always say, now it's time for fun. And if we look at Stoic philosophy, which basically says that whatever happens to you, embrace it as if you chose it. It's the fuel for the fire of your potential. And when we're talking about potential, it's and I'll be talking in the summit in my talk, how we bring in our future self to help us navigate these changing times. And it's a fascinating concept, but it really demonstrates the power of intention by working with the person that you want to become and bringing that into this present moment.
Oh, so true. It's so true. So we have a comment I want to share here, and this is from Venki Balasubramanian, and Venki's one of our speakers at the summit also, and he's out of Chennai, India. And Venki is commenting, and he's saying that he's liking the quote behind you, right? He says it's just inspiring, Cheryl. And but this is what we're talking about, right? This is what we're talking about is showing up in this moment and just continuing to like be strong and move forward. And I think that's one of the things, Cheryl, that I love most about our virtual team community, this online referral community, this global movement, is that we're all in this together. And coming into this summit, whether you're a part of our community or not, we want to invite you to come and meet this group of people, come and meet people like Cheryl, come and meet people like Venki. Brian Morrison is commenting too. He's out of the UK. And the excitement of what we're creating here, come be inspired by these people. And just Cheryl is going to be speaking to us, and it begins on Thursday, the 6th. And she'll be come in at 8 a.m. Pacific if you can, 11 a.m. Eastern, and then please visit the timezoneconverter.com for your own country. Let's make sure you're coming in at that time. But on Thursday at that time, we're going to start with global online networking, and then Cheryl is our first speaker out the gate right at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern and beyond, and let her speak into you about how to move forward with one. What's your title? Because it's so awesome. What's your title?
Navigating change, one better feeling thought at a time.
Yes, navigating change, one better feeling thought at a time, instead of one I'm paralyzed feeling thought, right? I'm paralyzed. I can't do this change, because there's a lot of change right now. So we want to invite you to, you can register, grab your free ticket at vteamsummit.com. Come and meet me, Cheryl, our amazing speakers, our virtual team community, and friends from around the world. We would just be delighted to see you there. So thank you, Cheryl, for spending this moment with me right now and sharing a little bit about your talk. We're delighted to invite you all to come and be part of what we're up to. So thank you, everybody. We'll see you there.
Okay, bye.